Although he grew up in Atlanta, Texas, and graduated with a communications degree from Arlington University, it was the time he spent in Shreveport that really catapulted Nat Stuckey to stardom. After working for a small Atlanta, Texas radio station, he landed a job as a staff announcer at Shreveport powerhouse KWKH. When it was learned that he could also sing and play the guitar, he became a regular on the Louisiana Hayride. Nat recorded a dozen songs for Shreveport-based Paula Records, including this little ditty in 1966.
Well, has anybody here seen Sweet Thing? I've got a notion he'll be headed this way. 'Cause when my sweet thing's out tomcatting around, he finds a sandbox like this to play. I want to tell all you barroom roses, if my sweet thing does happen by, you better take my advice, and if you blink more than twice, you better have something in your eye.
In 1968, Nat signed with RCA Records and later with MCA. But he wasn't just a singer, he was also a songwriter who wrote hit songs for a number of other artists. Among those songs was Waitin' in Your Welfare Line, which became a #1 hit for Buck Owens, and Papa Top, which became a huge hit for Jim Ed Brown. But Nat was much more than just a singer-songwriter. He voiced and sang many national commercials for companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Budweiser. He had his own talent booking agency in Nashville, a land development company, and a woodworking business. He rode motorcycles, was an avid bass fisherman, and even dabbled in veterinary work. Nat Stuckey's life was cut short by cancer in 1988 at the young age of 54. Though Northwest Louisiana is widely known for its contributions to country music, it's also the birthplace of one of the top classical pianists in the world. Born in Shreveport, Van Cliburn began studying the piano when he was just 3 years old, under the tutelage of his pianist mother. He made his orchestral debut at age 12, and 2 years later he appeared at Carnegie Hall. In 1951, he enrolled in the Juilliard School. It was there that his teacher encouraged him to enter the first ever Tchaikovsky International competition in 1958, at the height of the Cold War, and he emerged victorious. Returning to the United States, he was honored with a ticker tape parade in New York City. It was the only time that honor has ever been bestowed on a musician. Watching his magical fingers dance across the keyboard is a sight to behold. Van Cliburn's career spanned more than 5 decades. During that time, he played for every United States president, from Harry Truman to Barack Obama, and received countless accolades. He received the first Grammy for classical music, had the first classical album to go triple platinum, and received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the National Medal of Arts, and Russia's Order of Friendship. In 1962, a group of volunteers organized the first Van Cliburn International Piano Competition in Fort Worth. It is now recognized as one of the most prestigious piano competitions in the world. Van Cliburn passed away in 2013 at the age of 78. But Northwest Louisiana isn't just known for its contributions to the music world. Shreveport-born half-brothers Samuel G. and William B. Wiener set the architectural world on its ear in the 1930s, following a trip to Europe. There, they learned about a style of architecture known as modernism, a style they brought back to the United States and began implementing around Shreveport. Although they were widely known in the architectural community for their groundbreaking achievements, their work was little known by the public in general until the Louisiana Architecture Foundation commissioned a documentary film about them. Shreveport-based Rational Middle Media Group and its owner, Gregory Kallenberg, wrote, directed, and produced the film Unexpected Modernism, the Wiener Brothers Story, which made its debut in 2019. Here's the trailer for that film.
Samuel G. Wiener, Fellow of the American Institute of Architects. William B. Wiener, Fellow of the American Institute of Architects.
Both William and Sam were artists and innovators.
Raised by an incredibly successful but community-minded businessman father in a small city in the Deep South.
The early work from the 20s was very traditional.
And they decided to go to Europe in 1927, and they were inspired.
They produced one of the earliest and largest clusters of modern buildings in the United States.
Shreveport emerged as a beacon of modern architecture.
It was very innovative. They didn't know what to do with it.
It's extraordinary that they shed their classical training, accepted the importance of function. They practiced architecture as an art.
This architecture, in a way, spoke about them being forward-looking. To them were connected with a way of life, a new culture that expressed the modern age. An ideal, perhaps, of the United States, of what it can be, what it should be.
The work was so pure and it was so early in the lineage of modern architecture that it is part of the historical record.
It's the achievement of intellect, education, investigation, exploration. It's really a celebration of community and culture. You can't make that stuff up. It really is a remarkable story.
More than a dozen examples of the Wiener Brothers' design work still stand today around the Shreveport-Bossier area. Samuel Wiener passed away in 1977. William Wiener died 4 years later in 1981. From building design to clothing design, acclaimed New York fashion designer Geoffrey Beene was born in Haynesville in 1924 to a family of doctors. He pursued a medical career himself at Tulane University, but dropped out after 3 years and moved to Los Angeles, where he began studying fashion design. He then moved to New York and Paris to further his studies before returning to New York in 1949, where he worked for a couple of 7th Avenue design houses before founding his own in 1963. Beene was widely recognized for his artistic and technical skills and for creating simple, comfortable, and dressy women's wear. But he also lent his name to eyewear, jewelry, luggage, and his well-known men's cologne, Gray Flannel. Here's a short documentary about him that we found on YouTube.
Geoffrey Beene is his own man. His individual approach to fashion has set him apart.
He's a modernist, an artist, an American master. Geoffrey Beene is beyond comparison, and to many, without peer.
I'm an American designer and my clothes look American.
He's one of the most influential designers in the world today.
His sense of line, his sense of color, the mix of irony and just the whimsy of it. His pieces are just timeless and gorgeous.
The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City this year acquired
154 pieces of Geoffrey Beene clothes.
I think there's no question that he's the best designer in America. And I think you could argue quite reasonably that he is the best designer in the world.
Geoffrey Beene, the winner of 8 Cody Awards, the most ever given to any designer.
Over the course of his lengthy design career, Beene received countless awards, including 8 Cody Awards, the most ever awarded to any one designer. In honor of his fashion legacy, the Council of Fashion Designers of America created the annual Geoffrey Beene Lifetime Achievement Award in 1984. Geoffrey Beene passed away on September 28, 2004.